you talked about you started the journey about a year ago. Where are you at? And I think one particular area, if you as you're going through your journey, would be really helpful, right? Like from when you had the idea, you probably had the idea a while ago. Like, what are the steps you're taking, kind of like pre-launch the product and everything, just for like other people that might be maybe thinking about going through the same journey. I think it'll be
Yeah,
helpful
for
for them.
sure. So I had the idea for Khalo now. Now I think it's 6 years ago. So it's been a long time, but I'll tell you a little bit briefly about how Khalo came to life, and it really is through my own personal journey. So I was telling you, I grew up with my mom feeding us amazing, delicious, healthy food, and it was all based in Indian cuisine. So that's what we grew up moving around, growing up. And when I moved out to college, that's really the first time where you're kind of on your own. Like I lived in dorm life, and I started eating like shit. And I was like eating frozen dinners and takeout, whatever I could get my hands on because we're really busy. And I hear a lot of my friends resonate with the story because that's what happened to them. But what happens when you eat like that and you deprioritize what you're putting in your body is that you develop all of these health issues. So I was going through so many health issues, like I was going through IBS and leaky gut and acne and depression and all of these health issues that are related to your gut. And I didn't realize that. I got so caught up in the standard American diet that I couldn't possibly fathom that it was my food that was causing this. It was like, something else. And then, so I realized that it was my gut health. I started learning about the gut microbiome, and it's a very trendy word now, but it's been around for a long time. So then I basically went on this whole journey to holistically heal myself. And because I didn't want to feel tired all the time. I was in like my early 20s, and I'm like, I shouldn't be feeling tired all the time, or like having all these gut health issues. Like I want to be healthy, I want to feel lively, and I want to feel energetic. And so I went on this like holistic health journey, and I started, leaning on my mom more because she used to cook a lot, and I just had this kind of idea like, okay, maybe if I cook more, I could put better things in my body, because what the health food industry is selling us is kind of failing us. It's just over processed foods that is actually making our gut health issues and our bodies worse. So I was like, okay, I want to start to cook more. And so I would spend like hours and hours with my mom on FaceTime, and probably spent hundreds of hours with her on FaceTime at this point, where she was teaching me how to cook. And she was teaching me about like Indian cuisine and how it was actually based in functional wisdom of this concept. And it's called Ayurveda. And it's this science from back in India that comes from the same place as yoga and meditation. And that, talks about food as medicine. It talks about gut health as like the crux and the center of like good health. And so I was like, oh, wow, this is super amazing. So I'm like, all right, let me try this. And then so I was cooking all these amazing meals, and like I was spending 3 or 4 hours a day cooking these meals, which is not reasonable for anyone to spend time. But throughout that process, I completely healed myself of my gut health issues, my mental health issues, my skin. I mean, just everything, like my life was just better. I just felt healthy and I felt amazing. And I just realized that this magical thing that I had just discovered was too powerful for me to keep to myself. So I was like starting to share it with my friends, and like it was just such a daunting thing for people to think about making like Indian food at home, or like using all these spices that can't even have access to in grocery stores. So that sort of gave me this idea, and I was thinking about this for a while. I'm like, I want to create a company with a mission to transform people's relationship with food and give them like access to this Ayurvedic wisdom and Indian flavors through something. I didn't know exactly what it looked like, but I knew that this was my mission. So I was testing out a bunch of different ideas, and, I was working at companies, so I was sort of doing it in my free time. So for people who are thinking about like an idea, don't feel like you need to rush into it. Like it took me a long time to get to the point where I quit my job and am now working on this full time.